Alright, welcome one and all, whoever may be watching this. Part 8, Rosewater. Let's jump into this one because we were halfway through some kind of situation. We were making a memorial, I think it was.
This should work to mark the stone.
Alright, so maybe that's all we needed, and the blue flowers. All of these other ones I've picked up are useless.
Here, you can mark the stone with this.
Yeah, this is great. Thanks, Harley.
That's everything, right?
I think so. Well, I haven't gotten the incense paper, so this will have to do. It means a lot, you taking the time to do this. I'm sure you had better ways to spend a morning.
Can't think of any. Would you mind telling me what happened to your friend?
Well, Petey and I left El Presidio along with 5 of our friends. We were looking for new lives out on the frontier. I told my parents we were pooling our money together to buy a farm, which was true. Except, we didn't actually have any money. Petey took charge and we all started off working odd jobs here and there. But he got impatient. He got it into his head that it would be easy money to rob a stagecoach. I didn't much care for the idea, but once Petey put his mind to something, there was no turning back. So the big day came, and things didn't go so well. Petey didn't make it. I was the only one who did.
I'm sorry.
Me too. I just wish I'd said something more. Push back harder on the whole idea. But honestly, talking about it helps. So, thanks, I guess. If you don't mind, I'd like to be alone for a bit.
Sure thing. See you back on the wagon.
Where even is El Presidio on this map? I can't see it. Alright, so we've talked to everyone except Phil. Hold on, let's have a look at the map. Can anyone find El Presidio? Oh gosh, it's all the way up here. Is it like the California of wherever we are? Jeez Louise. That's a long way to travel. We're going to be doing this for a while. My goodness. I'm just having a bit of a laugh at all of the other names. Oh yeah, look. Las Virgins. Is that supposed to be like Las Vegas? Hellfire Pass. I don't know. I'm trying to pretend like I understand any of this. Oh, is this all land over here too? I thought this was the ocean. But I guess not. So we've got, what, like a mountain range. And then whatever's across on Piedmount, whatever. Words. Who cares? Oh, wrong button. How do I get out of here?
Phil?
Señorita?
Will this be your first time visiting El Presidio?
It will. I have heard many tales of this so-called Mouth of the West. I am curious to find out which ones are true.
Now we've got some time. Care to tell me about how you came to Vespuccia?
I can appreciate your curiosity, although it is painful to relate. But you may as well know. I had assembled Lieutenant General de la Vega and several of my men in Jicotea, a small village on the Loyola River. We were preparing an operation to liberate the nearby town of Caballo Viejo. The Spanish army had it under occupation for some weeks, seeking intelligence on our movements. But before we could act, they struck without warning, without mercy. They did not confine themselves to fighting armed revolutionary soldiers. Old men, women, children, all were valid targets in their eyes. all held collectively responsible for resisting Imperial rule. Victory was out of the question. We were hopelessly outmatched. Many brave souls laid down their lives to allow innocents a chance for escape. As civilians fled the village, I led the retreat north with Lieutenant General de la Vega. We gathered what we could of our forces from other positions along the way. It was clear that the army would relentlessly target any village known to harbor revolutionary cells and administer the same treatment. I left Jicotea a smoking ruin. I could not allow that to happen again. Temporary exile was the only alternative.
Just how temporary has this exile been?
A little more than a month now. I find it not so easy to keep count of the days.
So, this revolution, what exactly is it you're fighting for?
What does any man who is oppressed fight for? Freedom. Simple as that. The Imperial government has grown fat on the labor of the masses. They torture and imprison anyone who dares speak out against their abuses. My people and I are straining to throw off the yoke of colonialism.
You're very polite, Phil, but please, call me Harley.
What is wrong with Señorita?
It's not my name.
Ah, but it is a sign of respect. I would never dream of addressing a new Spanish lady by her given name.
Well, things are different here.
As I am learning. If you wish it, it will be so.
Appreciate it. We'll talk more later.
I look forward to it.
Well, I guess our only option now is to read.
Scooch over a touch, would you, Phil?
Folks, we're making a brief stop. There's a lady by the road might need some help.
Let's see if we can be of assistance then.
Have you been stranded out here, ma'am?
Oh, no, not at all. I can see how it might look that way, but I assure you, I am here with fierce and deliberate purpose.
So what possessed you to come stand out in the middle of the desert?
My name is Amber Lee, and I am a paleontologist.
Beg your pardon?
It means I collect and study fossils.
Fossils? You mean bones?
Yes, that's right. Bones of the great creatures that roamed these lands millions of years ago. The mighty thunder lizards who shook the ground with every step. This wasn't always a desert, you know. It may seem difficult to imagine now, but millions of years ago, this was all a vast, lush rainforest. The perfect habitat for these awesome beasts.
Suppose everybody needs a hobby.
This is no mere hobby, sir. This is my vocation. In fact, I have been invited to exhibit my findings at the esteemed Jolly Good Club in El Presidio.
The Jolly Good Club?
Does that mean you know Dr. Bennett Clark?
Afraid not. As women are excluded from the club, I've not had occasion to associate with its members. They have made a special exception to allow me to give my lecture, and they are expecting something spectacular. If I don't find something truly extraordinary to show, I will be in quite a bind. Fortune has not been in my favor on this expedition. I am certain this area is full of treasures. Fossilized remains, that is. But the Earth stubbornly refuses to yield up her secrets. Say, have you any experience with excavation?
Afraid not. Can't even remember the last time I touched a shovel.
Oh, no matter. The digging isn't even the most important part. It's the handling of the fossils. As long as you've a delicate touch, you'll be a great help. I shall compensate you for your trouble, of course.
How much are we talking?
I'll need 2 field assistants. I am prepared to offer you 5 crowns each for a day's labor, and double that if you turn up something I can exhibit.
So at least 10 crowns in total, and 20 if we both find something? Alright, that sounds fair.
Wonderful!
You taking point on this, Harley?
Guess so. Nadine, want to help me out?
Of course. Now remember, we are searching for bones belonging to the great dinosaurs that I believe were once abundant here. They may be scattered in pieces. I aspire above all to discover and assemble a complete skeleton for display. My holy grail, if you will. If you uncover anything useful, be sure to tag it for classification.
Don't waste too much time. We got to keep moving.
We shall reconvene in an hour.
All right, but not a minute more.
May fortune favor our search.
So I think we're dealing with the 1800s as a time period. At least that's what I remember from all of Dr. Clark's dates. It was always 18 something or other. Paleontology and geology were like still up and coming areas of science at this point. So I'm amazed that one, she's acknowledging these are fossils of giant creatures that lived a long time ago. And two, that she's also been able to put together the fact that this desert once upon a time was a jungle or forest or whatever she said it was. Very advanced science for the time. Maybe in this universe, everyone accepted the geological and paleontology, the words, theories without question. Maybe there was no kickback. Okay, so left click on the brush or trowel. Oh, okay, cool. Well, let's trowel it up because we're digging.
Oh, whoops.
Oh, did I just break something? What? Well, I can't just sit here and...
Say, this looks promising. Looks valuable. I'm keeping it.
Oh, we just got an arrowhead. Well, some archaeologist would want that. Hey. Did I break the trowel? I'm so confused. What did whoops mean?
Sand's a touch cooler down here.
Oh, yeah, okay, we've got something
Ooh,
promising.
This is interesting.
We got a head. Oh, I mean, this is fun. I was doing a...
Say, this looks promising.
Oh, we got a footprint. I was doing a paleontology degree for like a hot second, so this is like my dream.
I can't dig any deeper.
Well, you can, Harley. You absolutely can. So do I need to start by dusting first? Seeing as she said whoops and we broke something. Alright, I think we're good to dig. Yes, okay, cool. So I obviously missed something. That was my bad. Whoopsies. I mean, in my defense, Harley wasn't given a lot of instructions.
Say, this looks promising.
Oh, it's a shell. It's an ammonite. Well, hold on. If this was a jungle, how do we have an ammonite? Hey now.
And what have we here?
Got bone. We're just going to tag everything.
I can't dig any
Okay,
deeper.
Harley, you can. You're just being lazy right now. I mean, also anything that we find on this topsoil is going to be like really young. So it would just be like the bones of modern day animals that died.
And what have we here?
Or a boot. Boots work too. Oh, this would have been my dream, to just be somewhere digging away, brushing away.
Say, this looks promising.
What is that? I mean, it's definitely not a fossil. I would have loved to have worked. There's a couple of places around Australia that have Ediacaran fauna fossils. I would have loved to have worked in those locations.
Say, this looks promising.
Early life kind of stuff is totally my jam.
Phew. I've been at this long enough.
Oh, but we still had one square.
All right. Place everything you found on the table here, and we'll have a look. Not a bad yield. You found some quality fossils. As for your companion, goodness, you've also found some wonderful fossils. This is quite a collection. Here is your fee, as we agreed. Thank you again for your assistance.
Don't mention it. Good luck with your exhibition.
Slowly, slowly, slowly. Is this really going to be this portion of the game? Is just going to be getting to El Presidio? Play cards.
How about a few hands of poker, boys?
Sounds good to me. What do you think, Danny boy?
I don't have anything to bet with.
We don't need to play for money. Only our honor at stake. What could be more valuable, huh?
Let's do it then. Hell of a game, boys.
Leger, get up here a minute, would you?
What's going on?
I don't much care for the looks of that sky.
No? Looks fine to me.
Give it half an hour and it won't. There's a dust storm coming. We need to seek shelter fast.
We can't just stop and wait it out on the wagon?
Even secured, there's a chance it could blow over. I'm not risking it. There's a house up ahead a ways. We'll stop and see if we can shelter there.
All right. I'll let the others know. Lola wasn't kidding about the storm picking up. Is someone living here?
Okay, is it going to be like some kind of haunted mansion? Alright, I just wasn't sure if we could like search.
That sky is bad news.
Let's go knock on the door. Should just actually open it. Let's just go right on in.
Hello? Anybody home? No answer. And wouldn't you know it, it's locked. Good thing I've got these lockpicks. Oh!
Can I help you with something?
My companions and I need a place to ride out the storm. We thought this house was abandoned.
Well, it's not. But how many are ye?
There's 6 of us. That's our wagon back there on the road.
Well then, go fetch 'em.
You're sure?
I won't have ye blow away on me porch. And you'll be keeping an old man company. So long as you're not bandits or thieves, are ye?
No, sir. We're fortune seekers. Of an honest sort.
Then we'll be getting along just fine. Now, get your folk in here quick, before we all get whisked to Kingdom Come. Appreciate you letting us ride out the storm in here, sir. Mighty good of you. Ah, of course. As I told your mate, I'm glad for the company. Welcome to me home. I'm Captain Philip Boylan. Pleasure's all ours. I'm Jake Ackerman. And this is Miss Leger, Mr. Luo, Mr. Marquez, Ms. Redbird, and Miss Johnson. Fine-looking crew, sure. And not to worry, there's plenty of space here. I've a spare room upstairs and a settee in the library.
Just, one, I need to point out that we're all lined up in size order. I love that. 2, look at how diverse this little group is. We're just ticking all of the representation boxes. Yeah.
So, Captain Boylan, would that be a sea captain?
Aye.
We're a long way from water. What brought you out here?
There'll be time for trading tales soon enough. For now, I'll be needing some assistance. I was about to start supper. Seeing as I'm setting extra places, I could use a couple more hands.
I'd be glad to help.
As would I.
Ah, grand.
Could you use another?
Sure. All right, shall we? The rest of ye, make yourselves at home. I'll sound the gong when supper's ready. Excellent work, galley crew. We'll be feasting within the hour.
You're fortunate to be so well provisioned. We recently visited a community that was having trouble with their crops, although Harley found a way to help.
So, Captain,
Aye?
where did all these potatoes come from?
Suppose the dust was kicking up already when ye arrived, so ye didn't see. They're from me own fields, just yonder.
You're a farmer then?
Just an old retired sea dog making do. I just thank God me crops have fared so well.
Captain, I was wondering,
Aye?
where did you get that gong?
Oh, that were a gift from an old friend who spent a few years sailing out of Shanghai. Is that from whereabouts ye hail yourself, Mr. Luo?
Me? Oh, no. That is, my parents came over from China, though I'm not sure where exactly. They never talk much about it. But my brother and I were both born in El Presidio.
Ah,
So have you ever been to China?
No. I hope to go someday, though. Maybe I can convince Jake to take his show overseas once this trip's over.
Maybe. Stranger things have happened. So does that mean you speak the language?
Yes. Although my parents wish I spoke it more.
That might come in useful in El Presidio.
Well, I'll try my best.
well, this should be plenty, thank ye. Why not go rest up? I'll sound the gong when supper's ready.
That was lovely. What an interesting life he's led.
I bet he's got as many stories as Jake. Now, speaking of which, I better go find him.
I'm going to look in the library. See you at dinner.
I guess I'm just gonna exist in the house? What am I supposed to be doing?
Locked.
Well, we've got lockpicks.
An impressive weapon. If I had to guess, I'd say this came from someplace in Africa.
Good guess. What about this one?
Captain Boylan sure has gotten around.
That's Easter Island.
A seaside landscape. I'm detecting a theme.
Alright, let's go upstairs. Maybe? I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing right now. Resting, maybe? I should have looked at the weird portraits. Jeez.
I shouldn't be snooping around. Not without a good reason, anyway.
Harley! Snoop! Be the biggest Snoop that you could ever be.
This is the water closet.
Alright. Keep that in mind, folks.
Miss Johnson, there you are.
Yep,
Can you see anything through that spyglass?
just the wagon. Wanted to make sure it's standing up to the storm.
And is it?
Seems to be. Excuse me, won't you?
A musty-smelling mess of laundry. I can just make out the wagon through the dust. At least it hasn't blown away.
Wouldn't it have made like more sense to park the wagon on either side of the house to keep it out of the wind and stuff?
I shouldn't be snooping around. Not without a good reason, anyway.
Harley! Snoop!
It's empty.
I'm assuming at some point we'll have to go through all of this. Maybe I should have talked to him first.
Wasted no time making yourself comfortable, I see.
My back's been acting up lately, you know? Truth is, it's been a while since I was out on the road like this, camping with only a bedroll every night. Guess I got used to inns and soft mattresses, and there's a decent bed in the show wagon. Now, it ain't like I've gone soft or nothing, just, you know, showing my old bones some love.
storm's still going.
I'm glad we found a safe place to stay.
Well, I mean, she's going to be like, nah, better not snoop without some kind of reason for it.
Hey now, don't go snooping around in there. We don't want to get on our host's bad side.
Jake, he's not up here. Far out, these people. Where's your sense of curiosity? Maybe I'm just a snoop in real life. Maybe I'm exposing more about myself. Like, I'm not all about stealing or anything, but, you know, just have a look around, kind of see what makes people tick and all that jazz.
Miss Leger, eager for your supper?
Just looking around.
I'll sound the gong when it's ready.
Alright, so kitchen is out. Well, the library? Or should I use the lockpicks on the door, maybe?
It seems the good captain is an avid reader.
No kidding.
Is there anything here that I should care about?
The label says Barbados rum.
Take it.
Harley, what are you doing? We are Captain Boylan's guests, not common bandits.
Guys, he's gonna like poison us with his potatoes or something. Let me be prepared. Far out. What else am I supposed to do? I mean, really at this point, if there is nothing super obvious, it generally means that I should talk to people.
I should leave it be. Don't want to upset the captain.
Alright, let's start talking to people, I guess. Oh no, okay.
I can't remember the last time this table was so full. How are you finding the fare?
Not bad.
Most satisfactory.
The very soul of rustic simplicity. Quite simple and, unadorned.
Could be adorned with a little seasoning.
You might have told our host you preferred things spicy.
In any case, it's been a real pleasure having a proper meal at a table.
Been roughing it then?
And how? A campfire don't compare to this.
Where are ye folks headed?
El Presidio.
Ah, I used to sail out of there.
Have you by chance heard of Dr. Bennett Clark?
I can't say the name rings a bell. Is he a friend of yours?
No, he's really of no relevance. Can't imagine why Miss Leger would bring him up. You said you sailed from El Presidio, Captain Boylan?
Aye, for many a year. I used to captain a whaler.
No kidding. You must have some stories.
A fair few. I could tell ye about the largest beast we ever snared. The one what took me leg.
I didn't even notice he was missing a leg.
Go on then, tell us.
It was back in 25. We was circling a lagoon off the coast of New Spain. We were on the point of giving up, when suddenly a great monster breaches off the port bow. She was the biggest I'd ever seen. I shouted the order to launch the whaleboats in pursuit. Me men put all their backs and all their hearts into rowing, and soon we was on her. All around, the water was churning white with foam. The beast surfaced again so close, we nearly capsized. But the harpooner had steady legs, and a steadier aim on him, and he struck true. Then, the battle began. Oh, how she thrashed and reared. Somehow, the rope got wrapped round me leg, and pulled, and tore almost clean through. I thought I was a goner for sure, but it wasn't over yet. At last, the beast tired out. We hauled her in just as it was getting dark. Cutting her up was no easy job. She was 50 foot if she was an inch. Got a good sum for all that oil and blubber. But it wasn't only the whale went under the knife that night. Doc cut me up too. Taking care of what little was left of me leg by that point. Saved me life.
Quite a tale.
That poor creature.
I doubt you'd feel that way if you met one yourself, Missy.
How about we just finish our dinner? If anybody has an appetite left after that story.
Aye, fair enough. No, that was a fine meal. And a fine meal should be followed by some fine rum and conversation. Would ye care to join me in the library?
That sounds like a perfect way to pass the evening.
I'm going to retire. Sounds like the storm's died down, so I'm bunking in the wagon.
You sure that's a good idea, Miss Johnson?
I'm sure. See y'all bright and early.
Harley, a word?
What is it?
Captain Boylan's a friendly feller, but you were a mite loose-lipped at dinner, if I may say. We don't need every Tom, Dick, and Harry knowing about our search for Clark's money.
I only asked Boylan if he'd heard of Clark, not a word about the money.
Still, you're treading on thin ice. A more curious sort might start probing, and we don't need that.
Point taken.
Glad we're on the same page. Now let's go join the party.
Sure you won't have some rum, Miss Redbird?
I'm sure. Thank you.
And for you, Miss Leger.
You can spare me a pour as well, Captain.
Aye, fair enough. A toast to new friends.
Cheers! Damn, where'd you say this stuff came from?
A gift from an old friend in Barbados. Best rum in the world, in my opinion. Got plenty more in me cellar. You're welcome to it. Now then, Mr. Marquez, I had a question for ye.
I may have an answer.
Am I mistaken, or are ye of the new Spanish persuasion?
I am, yes.
Ha ha ha! Grand! I'd like ye to have this. She belonged to an old friend of mine. New Spanish, like yourself. He used to play the most beautiful music. He left her to me when he died, but I always felt she should return to her proper home, as it were.
I'm honored.
Suppose I ought to have asked if you play.
In fact, I do. A little bit, anyway.
Go on, then. Give us a song.
Very well, but let me tune her first. That should do. Now, let's see if I remember.
Goodness, that was beautiful. Where did you learn that?
Thank you, Harley. I had a tutor as a child. My father insisted I learn to play something, so I chose the guitar.
Well, ain't you just full of surprises?
I think this calls for another round.
Hear, hear.
It's been a grand evening. But this old salt needs his beauty sleep. Stay up late as ye like. All I ask is ye not disturb me in me quarters. I'm not a light sleeper, but I can be a right bastard when startled.
I promise we'll steer clear and tiptoe quieter than the angels. Good night, Captain.
See y'all in the morning.
Which is his room?
Don't know about you folks, but I ain't ready to bed down just yet.
Yes, the night is still young.
Let's say we have a couple more rounds.
The rum's all gone, though.
Captain Boylan said he had more in the cellar.
I'll just go fetch a bottle or two. Oh, bad news. Cellar's locked.
Oh, chingada.
Guess the party's over, then?
Not necessarily. Harley, would you be so kind as to apply your skills to our little problem?
Sure, I can get that door open. I've still got my lockpick, so it'll be a cinch.
Atta girl. Let us know when you done it.
We'll just hang out here. You go pick those locks. Alright, so I'm assuming we'll get in there and something won't be quite right, which then will allow us to snoop around or something. But looking at this video, I'm just going to end this here. I'm curious to see if this captain turns out to be anyone suspicious or if he is just a nice sea captain. But thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye!